This is the Natty crew checking in to talk shit about some of the fuck stains in the industry. Let's see what we got on the list first. Mr. Joey Swole, gay for pay.
Joey, I have actually a lot of funny shit about Joey. I remember I made a comment on his Instagram maybe a couple years ago. I was like, hey man, when's your next gay for pay video coming out? As a complete joke. And he kicked me on, this is when I still have it on my iPhone, I still have all the messages. He was like talking all this shit, and I was fucking with him. And, I was talking about like all the dick pics he sends, and like he was getting all butthurt. He's like, back in the day, me and my cousins would have threw you in the back of the van and like ran off with you and shit. And it all spurred from there, and sometimes he'll even unblock me on Instagram, comment on something, and then pull off. But the worst thing about Joey, from experiences that I know about girls in the fitness industry, literally if a girl likes his fucking picture on Instagram, he kicks them, sends them dick pics. His dick pics go viral. And I just don't get it. Like, there's nothing really cool to look at. Like, dicks are not that cool to look at. Like, I don't know what he's thinking. So what's your interaction with
my Instagram page, I've probably gotten about 50 DMs of Joey Swole's cock. I'm so sick of seeing that dude's cock. It's just driving me nuts. But yeah, he kicked me once before too, asking me to take shit off my Instagram. I had a picture up, I don't know if you've seen it. He was like laying on the couch with some dudes and stuff. And he was just telling me how much money he makes every year, and he just portrays himself as this guy who has it all. He's just really a piece of shit, you know what I mean? I don't like him. Along with the rest of his other crew, fucking...
The whole Shreds team in general, I think they're just scam artists. Yeah. I've never heard one, actually, I've never heard one positive review about their products. Have you?
I heard Italian lead, I know that.
Yeah, well, Joey admitted that. There was actually a combo that went viral that he admitted that, he's like, so what that we have lead? So, so I guess that, but I've never seen any positive reviews on their products, to be honest with you. And that whole thing that just went viral about, actually he's on the list too, is Devin Physique, supposedly photoshopping 30-day challenges. So basically he's taking one chick and he's, using an Adobe Photoshop to bring her waist in, pull body fat off her, bring her legs down, stuff like that to promote his training. He said he was interacting with his clients, but he actually had a secretary who actually went viral and came out with a video saying that it was all her. He did nothing. And then when he fired her, she ended up coming out. I mean, in my opinion, she's not really any much better. She was, doing the scam. So who knows what's going to happen with him? To me, his physique's not even impressive. I don't even know how he got that following. I guess people want to look like that. I mean, I guess, but I think there's a lot better physiques out there.
He literally adds about 30 pounds to his legs. So.
Yeah, the legs are bad, like 5 inches. Surprised he doesn't Photoshop his dick bulge or something.
He probably does. I think Joey does. I've seen a couple pictures of him stand to the side and the toy looks like he stretched the cock.
I'm sure he does. I've seen that a few times. Obviously the black guys are probably actually packing, but I've seen that with white guys they look like they fucking folded their shit sideways.
Stuff the sock down before the picture. Let's see who else we got on this list. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so let's talk about the Piana versus Genova. This has just happened. I was actually at the expo for an hour and I couldn't stand it. It was crowded, it was muggy, there's a bunch of groupies holding each other's cocks. So I couldn't do it, so I just wanted to leave. And so me and Ariel ended up leaving, and then I guess the next day on Saturday, I didn't go. I was still in Orlando, but I guess Piana wanted to slapbox Genova. And Genova, as people know, or people that don't know, he's either, I don't want to say autistic, but I think he has maybe some little bit of Asperger's or disability. He tries to get lean or in shape or something, but it doesn't seem to work out for him. I don't know if he cheats on his diet or what's going on. But I guess he did an Order 66, and I didn't even know what an Order 66 was. I thought it was like some fucking shit from Star Wars, which it is. But I guess Order 66 is when Genova makes a video saying, I want to order 66 so-and-so, that means for all of Genova's followers to go on Rich's page and spam his page with comments and dislike his videos. So coming from me, I'm not the securest guy ever, but I'm not that insecure. Now, if somebody's gonna do that to me and somebody's gonna comment on my pages, first of all, I don't even read the YouTube comments. Most of them, I read maybe a few of them. And second of all, who cares if they spam your videos? I wouldn't give a fuck. And actually, Piana, got, legit mad about this shit. and supposedly wanted to slap box him. He's like, well, we can't take a picture if, unless, I get back, because I kind of want to slap me around. You could tell that Piana was actually like legitimately like irritated, like he wanted to strangle the kid.
You can see the anger behind those slaps.
For sure.
He said 2 of those slaps were hard out of the 5.
2 of the, the last one, the card, like the one of the first ones. So that shit's going viral right now. People are like, oh my God, Piana fucking, hit a kid with a disability. Now, do I think Genova's that disabled? No. But I don't think Piana should get that insecure and that angry over some stupid little Order 66 where people are spamming his page and supposedly they're like threatening his girlfriend, which we all know, guys. I've gotten email threats, Facebook threats. I laugh at them because it's social media. People are gonna talk shit over the keyboard. I've never once had a problem in person. I mean, have you ever had a problem in person? I mean, I've never once had any kind of weird confrontation in person. It may happen one day, who knows? But I mean, it's more of the internet talk. People are first to talk on the computer all the time.
Everybody's tough behind the keyboard.
Always.
That's just how it is. They have that security of being able to hide. They know you're not going to see them, and if they do see you, they usually would just put their head
Yeah,
down.
they'll put their head down and they'll walk. That's what I've noticed.
That's just the way it is. But I think Genova probably loves the attention right now.
Oh, he's loving it.
He seems like a decent kid. I mean, he's
Yeah, like actually, I was telling people, like, if anyone that I was to see at the expo, it would be him for some reason. So I guess he does have a following for a good reason. Because if I would like to meet the kid, I'm sure a lot of people like to meet the kid. I mean, he's done well for himself for being autistic or having disabilities. Supposedly he's making money on his YouTube videos, and supposedly he's making money selling shirts. He told me he makes good money. I don't know, and supposedly he supports himself and lives by himself. So that's awesome if he could do that and make a name of himself in the fitness industry. And the fitness industry is so small. Piana, even though the fitness industry is so small, Piana is so big in the fitness industry. He's like a Phil Heath. Like, people recognize him anywhere he goes, so people look up to him. People look at his videos. And the thing is I think a lot of that could, in a way, has been bad. So me and Rich go way back. He used to train at my parents' Gold's Gym, and decent guy. I always thought, and I think the attention has really gotten to him. All he wants to do is film. He wants to walk around with a camera now. Anything for attention. And he's making videos about if your dick cake is lower than your ball sack, and I think he's running out of material. And now he's making up like 30 by the day, where he's lying to people about he's eating all these calories. And then I have kids coming up with me with moon faces in the gym saying, oh yeah, I'm following Rich's plan, like I'm up 30 pounds. It's like 30 pounds of water, because they actually think like eating Fruity Pebbles and like gallons of milk every day is gonna make them put on quality size. So saying that, another thing that Piana does that I lost respect for him a lot is the fake plates. When I went out there to California, he wanted to shoot with fake plates, and I told him no, I won't do it. And that's when we ended up sitting on the beach, and we ended up doing that video where I dropped the syringe on the boardwalk. So then I was like, okay, whatever. Then he keeps doing it, like all the fake faces, like he was like training everyone on the 5% crew, like how to do fake faces and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is some phony shit. Then I started realizing, like, all right, he's doing most of the shit for attention, like just for views, just to get like a paycheck from YouTube or whatever, and just to get his name out. And like, don't get me wrong, like I could blow my name up too with videos every day, but to me it's like, I'd rather live my life and not constantly be like, all right, let's put a camera in my face and let's like, let's not act like how I'm gonna act in real life. Let's just act like, what people want to see instead of what people like my normal stuff. So, but as far as Piana, lost a lot of respect, always shooting with fake plates. He actually flew out a chick that you could say I dated, and like 6 weeks prior, she lived with me, and she was struggling to like squat like 185 for like maybe like 6 to 8. Then she goes out, and she's squatting fucking 315 ass to grass, like, oh yeah. And I'm not gonna say her name, she's probably gonna fucking watch this and laugh, but, so I called her out, I was like, why the fuck are you using fake plates? She's like, well, he made me use them. I'm like, that's fucking gay, like, you're gonna just like, do something somebody told you to do, and that's a part of the fitness industry that's so fucked up, is, unfortunately, people are gonna do stuff, because like somebody, asks them to do stuff and they have no backbone, and they're just like, oh sure, like, anything for attention. But I really want to talk about the 5% crew. What's your thoughts on them?
Well, I used to be I was a fan of the 5% for a while until I actually started. They actually even sent me a contract to ask me to be part of the 5%, but that's really nothing special. That's just advertisement.
Yeah, it's garbage.
When you look into it and see, I mean, they're really the 5%er crew. A lot of people are probably gonna get mad, but they're pretty much just groupies. Like they're just hanging around Rich's booth, getting paid in T-shirts to advertise his shit. Like they're getting supplements. The agreement with the 5%er contract is you advertise, you post on your social media 4 times a week. Every week they check in to make sure you're doing it, and you get like a T-shirt, and I think it's like 50%. A pre-workout. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, so it's pretty much just Rich is just sitting back and letting all these people say they're 5%ers. What it really is it's a lot of people that feel like they want to belong to something, and they just never really became part of anything, and they seen that they could be part of something, and Rich seen that opportunity to advertise, so he went with it. He's letting these people become 5%ers, and they're just advertisement for Rich pretty much. So he's just sitting back, letting all these people feel like they're special and they're part of something, and it's really just raking in money for him.
Yeah, like I have a couple instances. It's funny because a lot of these girls are like so loyal to my team, and I actually had a girl, I'm not gonna mention her name, stay with me for a few days, who's 5% crew, and all she did here was talk shit about all the girls on the 5% crew. And when she sees them at the expo, like 2 weeks later, I see her taking pictures with the same girl she was talking shit about, like my boo thing, like oh my god. And like 2 weeks before, she's talking shit like, oh that bitch is fat, like like all this fucking shit. So it's like a lot of gossip, a lot of people are talking shit about each other. But the thing that like pisses me off is the 5% crew is a bunch of people who couldn't get a real contract with a real company that paid them. And people that know this, well, a lot of people should know this, but 5% crew, that's just Rich's face on a company. That's not he didn't like come up and start with his company from scratch. His name is just on that. People who reach out to people who email people who take care of the customer service, people who ship the product, or have nothing to do with Rich. He's just the name of the product saying, oh, he takes this. So like, and I don't even know if he came up with the ingredients. I'm sure he might have, came up and said, I want this and this, but they came up with the main formulations. So when people say the 5% crew, it's like Rich is the face, but they don't understand that when people contact them, it's not Rich. It's actually somebody just behind a computer that works for the company. But yeah, what they offer them is like a couple T-shirts a month or something. And their gear is pretty cool. Like I actually have a couple of their tank tops and their shirts. Like they have some cool shit.
Excellent.
Yeah. So if you're gonna like I like his design. So whoever he went with the design with the labels. I've tried a few of his products. His products are decent. I've tried his pre-workout. It's not bad. So I'm not bashing that. And I'm speaking the truth. But when you see these girls, their first Instagram thing, like you look them up, it says 5% sponsored athlete. And automatically when you think sponsored athlete, you think, okay, they get a monthly paycheck. They're getting all this thing. When they go to these expos, they're getting paid to work the booth. They're getting paid to fly out to the booth. But the actual fact of the matter is, they have to pay their way. So if they live in, Oklahoma and, there's an expo in California, they have to pay their way to fly to California, get their own rent-a-car, get their own hotel to sit at a booth. So that's why when you go to Rich's booth, you see like 40 people behind the desk. It's whoever wants to show up as a sponsored athlete. And I think there's over like 300 or 400 people that they've sponsored who does it. So basically, guys, if you're a 5% sponsored athlete, I just want to let you know that you are getting used for advertisement. You are getting nothing back. You are actually, because you have a decent following, they want you to, shout their products out. And in return, they're making probably quadruple, way more money than you're actually, getting from a damn T-shirt and paying your way to be back. But that's the main thing that makes me sad about the fitness industry is everyone wants to do something to fit in. Instead of doing their own thing, focusing on their physique, everyone looks like a sack of shit, fucking bloated on creatine, diets all fucked up, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about nutrition and drugs too. And they want to act like they're a part of something, instead of, working on their own little values that they could, get, whether it's get a better physique, if they have kids at home, I've seen a lot of these guys, girls, you find out they have like 3 kids, and on their Instagram, they're like half naked, and their kids are nowhere to be found. And it's like, it's like, social media in a way, it's been great for me and great for a lot of people for marketing and making money. Same for you, you've been able to market some of your stuff and your shit's hella funny and stuff, but it's like, I think people take it too far. You know, now everyone's doing it to be Instagram likes, half naked on social media, and it does ruin relationships, because I've even had people like, you know, send, my girlfriend has all these followers and I'm insecure about it, and like she's getting comments, and it's like, well, you need to straighten that out with her. You know, if you're really insecure about that, you need to talk to her about that. And a lot of it creates insecurity where, oh, if she's doing this, I'm gonna get back at her and do this, and it's just a downward spiral. So I mean, that's my intake on the 5%. That's one of the worst. When I go to these expos, like I was at the expo and you just see like 40 of them back there, like yeah, like I'm part of something cool, like the pre-workout of the movement. Yeah, exactly. Like guys, like do your own thing, work on your physique, work on building your business, whether you're a fucking painter, whether you clean toilets, whether you're a multimillionaire, it doesn't matter. Focus on what you like to do, what you want to do, because I guarantee you guys, sitting by in a booth for 5-6 hours getting paid absolutely nothing to just smile and like act cool and take selfies, it's not going to get you anywhere in the fitness industry if that's what you're trying to go. So that's about it for the roast. I mean, those are the main people. There's a lot of shitty people in the industry though. I mean, you haven't really, you go to the expos more than I do, but as far as I've heard, like deep down, like actual stories of shit that's happened and like my personal experiences, I would say probably 9 out of 10 people are pretty fucking shitty. Like they'll do, you know, they just think for themselves.
All right, guys, we're gonna end it there, but stay tuned because we're gonna be doing some crazy shit, injecting on camera, all kinds of fucked up shit that you guys like to see. Stay tuned.